Alright, now you can go ahead.
Hello, America.
Welcome back to another video by the Bickering Gamers. It is me, Triple M.
Report. No, you gotta say. Oh, kind of screwed it up.
I know, I did it on purpose.
To piss him off.
Oh yeah, I scuffed his boots.
Alright, we can't waste too much time here. I know it's only been 15 seconds, but we have
his eyes.
This is Triple M reporting in, and today's topic is E3.
We already have a connection problems with Jimmy. Alright, yes, today, welcome to another segment of the Bickering Gamers. It's E3. Yay, Jimmy's back.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch to my Mac. It might be my Wi-Fi getting, overburdened and something like that.
That's probably it. Yeah. You're coming out really well though.
Stupid. It's like that's the very crucial time. Wi-Fi just doesn't work.
And before anyone asks, yes, I'm leaving this in the video.
Yes.
Yeah, we kind of figured
that out.
Yeah, right. Sure.
I'm glad we're getting into a rut now. It makes me very happy.
So hey, E3.
Well, hey,
Yeah.
we're actually putting up videos
Yeah.
again.
Speaking of traditions, yes, we're back with the. Hey Nick, I was wondering, you were with us last year for E3, right?
I believe so.
2014.
Yes,
I know you weren't around for 13. I know that.
No, I was here last year, but
I
I
didn't
say anything because I never saw that E3.
Okay, yeah. I was actually thinking about that the other day, actually. But yes, this has been a really I'm actually really nervous. Not controversial. It's actually been overwhelmingly positive, except for Nintendo. And Square.
The thing is,
NEA.
I didn't see the Nintendo one because I wanted to see.
Trust me,
I wanted to.
we're gonna get into it. Believe me, that's gonna be probably the longest part. And I can't tell you since last week how many.
We're probably going to be splitting this into 2 parts.
Yeah, probably. It depends. But yeah, I put a lot of thought into Nintendo. I gave days of thought watching a lot of different opinions and ranters. I can't tell you how many sides of the argument I've been watching this because it's such an interesting thing. But yeah, we'll probably get to that last because it's gonna be a big, chunky part of our conversation. But we're gonna start off with the third parties that had a press conference. We're only gonna strictly talk about the press conferences as we always do. We're probably gonna touch into Treehouse or live stream stuff from the floor, but that's pretty much just for reference. So yeah. We're going to have a little block here in the beginning because the big 3 is really always where it's at. So
in 3, 2.
Yeah. Oh, poor Jimmy. But yeah, we have EA, Bethesda. Sorry, Jimmy, the show must go on. E3, EA, Bethesda. He's switching to the Mac. Okay, perfect. Anyway, EA, Bethesda, which is Bethesda's first ever conference, which is really cool. Square Enix and Ubisoft. I always forget them because I don't give a shit about them. And yeah, Sega did not have a conference this year, so that's something to remember.
So Sony, they make Nintendo, right?
Yeah. Actually,
where's my boomstick?
Sega doesn't usually get a press conference, but they do have a booth. So anyway, let's start with Bethesda.
That bounced off his head.
What is Bethesda anyway?
Bethesda's a a really up and rising game company. They made the Elder Scrolls. They're working on a lot of basically every
3P?
every really popular PS3 game is pretty much by them.
But
If it's not Konami.
For their Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, their most famous, well-known series is the Elder Scrolls. Now, how we're going to do it is we've all taken, like last year, we've all taken time to organize things to the best of our ability. I want to stress that. And we're going to try to have somebody lead a conversation each just to keep us on task here. So let's start off with Bethesda. So go ahead, Tyler.
Unfortunately, I did not have a chance to see E3 because of my work schedule.
Yeah, we understand.
But I do have a basic concept of what they had. They had Fallout 4.
Hold up. Hey!
There we go.
Yay!
He's back. Jimmy, we missed you!
You're actually just in time, Jimmy. We just started talking about Bethesda.
Yeah, my Wi-Fi doesn't want me on my laptop doing Skype tonight.
Yeah, it's better to do a wired connection.
Yeah, I'm using my Ethernet.
Perfect. All right, go ahead, Tyler.
Anyway,
Okay, go ahead.
Bethesda has Fallout 4, Dishonored 2, Doom, and Fallout Shelter. Like, their big games.
I actually got Fallout Shelter, and Nick and I were actually having a conversation before the recording started. He was saying that it worked 5 and up. I have to test that. I haven't gotten that far in the app. I have a 4S myself. Might be a little complicated, but yeah, you know what? Bethesda did a good show. I have to say that was one of the ones I caught it without skimming through it. Like that's actually one of the full ones I saw. You know, they did the typical stuff. You can tell that they were following the formula. Here's our demo. Here's our trailer. Here's a scripted demo. Here's here's our game, and here's what we're going to talk about and make jokes in between that aren't funny. You know, the typical E3 press conference. But I like what they did. You know, they show off the big stuff. Elder Scrolls Online. They have the new Fallout was awesome. Doom was the cake there. That was their breadwinner right there. Everyone and I was it was cool. I was talking to a lot of people. I was watching a lot of people who were saying how I was telling Tyler this before that apparently I'm not much of a Doom player. I'm sure somebody in here is, but
I'm actually looking forward to the Doom.
Of course you are.
Is there? I don't know. That depends if there's going to be a PS3 version because as far as I know, it's PS4 Xbone, I guess, and PC.
Well, if he wants, he can just buy it and come over here.
That's correct.
Okay, so yeah. Anyway, what's cool about it is Fallout 4 is also a real cake thing, but you know, let me tell you, Doom. I'm not much of a player, but here's what everyone typically is saying from what I saw. The second one, what was called the second Doom, what did not fulfill the spirit of the original one, but the third one is. That's what I'm hearing from a lot of people. But they're modernizing it, you know. Because like I would like to get into Doom one day, but I don't know. I never was much of a shooter guy in general. Like pretty much, if I come to think of it, I think Splatoon is probably the first shooter game, quote unquote, I've ever bought and not returned like a couple weeks later. Oh wait, I'm sorry, that's not true. I also have a couple on the PS3, but regardless, yeah. So how's that Fallout 4?
Again, I don't know.
Yeah, way
I
to go.
didn't see E3.
I'll take over
Don't
for
look
him
at
on
me.
that one.
Just take over in general.
What was
I'm
that?
just gonna be
What
on the
was that
sideline
thing
in
they
general.
showed off with the arm thing?
Oh, the Pip-Boy.
Yeah.
What happens is they have with certain releases.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
This I know because it's
There we go.
Got him jumpstart. Vroom,
Yeah.
vroom, vroom, vroom.
Basically, they gave out a Pip-Boy with certain pre-orders, and
Right.
it connects to your phone and it acts like an actual Pip-Boy. Like
And they also made an app alongside Fallout Shelter.
Yeah, yeah.
Where it connects to your game and acts as an functional pimp.
Right.
Pip-Boy monitor. Believe it or not, there's a secret in Fallout New Vegas where you can switch out your Pip-Boy with a Pimp Boy 3 billion.
Oh God. Everyone was.
That's where I got it.
Wait, let me get some
Pictures
gold.
of it now.
It's gold, diamond encrusted.
Everybody was telling me about that dog. Everyone was talking about the dog in.
Dog meat.
Yeah,
Yes.
dog meats. Everyone's calling him.
I
that.
don't. The thing is, let me tell you how hyped I got for this game. I actually bought Fallout 3 just so that I could know the lore well enough to play this game.
Well, isn't Fallout each game's a separate story arc?
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes place like around like half a century or so between
Oh, okay. Yeah.
between each one with different characters.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
Now Fallout, I'm assuming it's some type of.
It's very popular.
It's an FPS.
It,
RPG.
Yeah.
That's interesting, yeah.
It takes place in an alternate version of our timeline where
Basically, the apocalypse
Yeah.
happens.
we actually bridged at the end of World War II. The transistor was never in this timeline. The transistor was never invented, which means the computer culture that we had, never came to be. Instead,
Sounds nice, actually.
Instead, research was focused on vacuum tubes and nuclear fusion, and as a result, the 1950s culture was locked into place.
Right.
This eventually in the 2050s,
But when
we ended up with
the weapons got upgraded.
yeah,
Right.
we
And
ended
the
up.
Rifles.
the
There was a resource war, which led to the Great War, which lasted about 2 hours before all the countries started nuking each other.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, but the war ended faster, I'll bet.
Yeah, but it became a wasteland.
Yeah, but it's like you understand there was
It
no.
became a wasteland, and the only
Yeah.
and
Small potatoes.
Small potatoes.
Small potato.
Really?
Yeah, you know, the end of the world. Yeah.
Yeah, we basically ended the world. And there's some survivors.
Yeah, it worked out.
because
Yeah, obviously you got to be playing the game, right?
Now here's something. Now here's something.
We got this. We got crazy.
Then there's Vault-Tec. Vault-Tec
was
was a company that
called? The crazy
specialized.
remains of the U.S. What are they called again?
The remains of the U.S. I have no idea. What do they call the remains of the U.S.?
The Wasteland.
Wasteland. No. The organization.
Wait, I got something special.
Shouldn't
In
that-
fact, in Fallout
Tyler.
3,
The organization.
Shouldn't wait. The remains of the United States are called the Wasteland, eh?
in fact, Fallout 3 takes place in DC,
Shirt shields
In Philadelphia?
activate.
and it's called the Wasteland Capital.
What's it called?
The Wasteland capital is Washington,
Can I
D.C.
use my damn it Tyler
Shouldn't-
for this video?
Shouldn't-
Damn it Tyler.
I farted in their feet.
Next, Fallout 4 is going talking about the new game. Fallout 4 is going to take place in Boston.
Ah,
Well, there's
That's
also
shithole.
Fallout-
Yeah,
there's also
because you
Fallout
saw
New
a lot of
Vegas.
you saw a lot of familiar places. There's the Commonwealth. There's there's the Paul Revere statue. There's the USS Constitution. Stuff like, which in the game has been refitted with rocket boosters because
That's so cool.
1950s science fiction, folks.
Well, 1950s, they love their rockets. They
Yeah.
did.
Oh yeah, but also they have laser.
In fact,
beams. Laser
In fact,
beams.
there's a parody of Coca-Cola in the game called Nuka-Cola.
Nuka-Cola.
And the bottle is shaped like a rocket ship.
You know, I love. You know, I love how I was saying.
sounds delicious.
I love how I was saying that Doom was the biggest thing, but we're
Sounds
talking about
artery
Fallout 4
clogging.
so much.
Yeah.
I really hated what the guy said in the press conference. He's like, "Yeah, the two-screen thing's usually a stupid gimmick, but this one's a good stupid."
Yeah.
Like, when it was a funny.
This is the best fucking
I-
thing.
I had-
This is the best fucking
I
stupid
had to
thing.
give it to him. I hated him for it, but it was a good joke. I had to
Yeah,
give it
you
to
got
him. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's all really is to
So,
say. It was a good first conference. It was a nice way to
There's
start
also
Bethesda.
Dishonored 2 though. You have to remember
Oh,
that.
right, of course,
Yeah.
right. Dishonored 2, right.
But before we go there, can I just
I don't think
talk
that-
a little more about...
Yeah, of course. But
keep going.
just to say, I don't think Elder Scrolls Online really needs any introduction in there, to be honest.
It's
Yeah.
the World of Warcraft for Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's also on the PS3, the Xbox One, and PC.
Yeah, we're going to put it everywhere they can. That's going to make a ton of money.
Yeah,
Anything
that
has
is
an
true.
internet connection.
Right, exactly.
Biggest
Except for
money
the,
money
except for
in
the Wii U, of
hand.
course.
Oh, I think there might be one.
I doubt that. That
Yeah,
no.
So to continue on to
I'm
Fallout
glad I have
4,
a PS4 now.
they're also saying that... They also said that there's going to be parts of the game where you play before the war.
Ah,
the Great
okay,
War.
okay.
Warception.
And you see the events that lead up
Right.
to going into the vault.
So
What,
apparently,
like you go back in time or something?
No, you literally start. They played a demo. You literally start.
Okay.
Your character is before the war.
Right.
now hold on. This Great War you speak of, is it supposed to be like the World War One?
No,
Three.
three. There's a
So
three.
they call World War III the Great War.
Because that's the one that
it's-
pretty much ended.
destroyed the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Small potatoes.
Well, you know what? Here's my thing. With the press conference, not the actual Fallout. Whenever I should have noticed that. You're right, because it wasn't the demo. But you know, I always skip the demos if I'm rewatching the feed when it
You
wasn't live. Because here's my thing.
Never skip the demo
No,
because
here's
they
my-
always put shit in there.
I know, but here's my thing.
brings up
I'm
the
never
hype.
probably gonna be able to play these games anyway. But also, E3 has a. I probably say this every year. E3 has a problem where they spend way too much time on something. Like sometimes I'll just watch something. I'm like, okay, next, and I'm like, I can't stand that. It's like.
well, that builds up suspense.
No, I know, but dare I say, even Miyamoto in the Star Fox explanation, I'm like, dude, shut up. I do not care who you are. I don't care what you're talking about. Shut up. My God, you are talking forever. I don't care about your damn temple. No disrespect, but I do not care about that. You can explain it for 1 minute and you can go, not for 5. I can't with that. Like, if you're gonna make a scripted demo, make the scripted demo 2 minutes long. Like, please, that's all I ask. If for all I care, you can make
Here.
For all I care, you make a debug mode right in front of me. I don't care if there's no illusion. If you're trying to make an illusion, just put a debug mode, drop everything around, and show what it can do. That's all I ask. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you. Here. And you guys say I rant and rave.
Actually, we don't.
I'm proud of you, Vegan.
Nobody says that.
Yes, you do.
No, we don't.
No, not really.
Yeah, you do.
No,
You
we
may
don't.
be thinking of someone else.
No, because every time. Well, case in point, if Triple M has anything to say about this, and he does.
Oh, Lord.
Ha
You see, that was.
No, we didn't say
Uh-huh.
it, though.
See, that was
We
our.
just said all
That's
the
implied.
That was
but
our.
we didn't say
That was our fault.
Triple M, pull my
Yeah,
finger.
so,
No.
in
Already
any
farted.
sense...
Yeah, let's go back.
Yeah, can we get back
Crack
to the...
it.
Yeah,
Yes,
good
please.
Lord.
Go ahead.
So anyway, oh my God, all this cool stuff. You start in the demo. You start out with the character selection, and it's just you you, the main player, and your wife, who acts as the female alt.
Okay.
If you choose.
Right. If you want to switch over, okay.
And
They Pokemon.
basically,
And your sex bitch.
And basically, it's
Wait,
choose.
is it like Fallout 3 where if you have a female character or a male character, you can have a perk where you're stronger against the other sex?
Why would they do
didn't
that?
say. The lady killer.
And
The
then
Lady
in
Killer,
Fallout 3.
One for in Fallout 3 is a perk that gives you other options to talk to women, so that when you're talking to female characters,
Right.
if you say the right thing and are successful, they could give you like an alternate route to do something.
Oh, so kind of like the girl
But
talk.
also the
So
female
girl-
character,
yeah,
character route. If you choose the perk, it allows you to kill men easier.
Really?
And
Right.
the same goes
I'll
for
bet
the Lady
they'll love
Killer.
that.
Yeah.
No, like say if you shooting
No,
in the chest would be the
it's-
same as a headshot.
The thing is, it's dual purpose. It's dual purpose. You'll be able to kill the opposite sex
All right.
members.
Okay.
Yeah, let's
Come
just
on,
go back
Rosemary.
to Fallout 4.
Rosemary knows when I'm recording. Rosemary knows when I'm at work. Rosemary knows when I'm doing something because that's when she calls. Anyway,
Oh Lord.
best part is she always knows what I'm doing. Okay, let's move
Okay.
on to another press conference because if we talk about one game forever, it's really not gonna.
Well, I didn't even get a chance to do that.
We talk about Fallout 4 for like 10
We
minutes.
talked about Fallout 3, and these two were distracting me.
Was Fallout
every
3 in
step of the way.
E3 2015?
No.
Take some point. Next.
Dishonored 2.
I would just go straight to
Was
PC.
Dishonored 2 is in Bethesda?
Yeah.
For some reason, I keep thinking that's EA's conference. Look, we're not talking about like I said before.
EA.
We're not going to specifically. We're not a news site. We're reacting to what is going on. We can go into a game fine into detail, but like I was complaining about with E3, we shouldn't go for too long where people just want to skip through this. That's all I'm saying. We don't have to get our jimmies rustled about this. Oh, right. Sorry, Nick. I really didn't mean to. Make the pun. Way to go, Tyler. Way to start a game with volume while we're.
Trying to record.
God, what do we do with our lives? Anyway.
This.
Oh yeah. What do you mean this?
Anyway, look, video game.
The last video I see on your channel, Tyler, was a Christmas wishes video. Come on, man.
Okay, I'm sorry
I
that my
miss
schedule is
no,
packed.
Tyler. I miss you
That's why I
on
started streaming.
YouTube. I miss you on YouTube. I miss you, Tyler. Give me a hug, Tyler.
Sure, if you get up.
Okay, you beat me there. All right. What is this on? I do not know anything about the
I did
Dishonored
not-
series, to be honest.
Fallout 4 was the only thing Bethesda
Yeah.
that I
You know what I liked about this year's E3 as a whole? You didn't get that much, here's a medieval first-person shooter. You know? Like, there's a few of those. There is. And the shocking thing in the world, and we'll get into when we talk about Microsoft, nobody talked about Call of Duty on the Microsoft conference, but Sony actually talked about the new Call of Duty. I was like, that was the weirdest thing.
Wait, what?
No, I'm serious.
What?
Microsoft
You
weren't
talked
the
about
ones
the new
that
Call of
talked
Duty.
about this year's Call of Duty. It was Sony that talked about this year's
You know
Call
what?
of Duty.
You
Black
know what?
Ops
No.
3.
You know what the owners of Microsoft and Sony said? Hey, you want to throw in a monkey wrench? How about you talk about Call of Duty instead of us? Call of Duty instead
Yeah,
of us.
it's like Major Nelson just goes up to a Sony Reggie. Hey, buddy, you want to just fuck with some people?
You mean for my Trimagini?
The what?
Never mind.
No. I make fun of the Sony CEO because he tried to be Sony Reggie last year. He tried to be Reggie because he looked like him and he was trying to act like him. Oh god, that was so funny. Everyone made fun of that.
So this Call of Duty thing is now.
Well, we'll get to that when we get to Sony. I mean, there's not much to say. It's Black Ops 3. But the point is, it was funny because Sony said it, and because Microsoft's known for their Call of Duty fan base. Like Microsoft pretty much wins
And
their
Halo.
Call of Duty audience. You know, they
And
pretty much
Halo.
win. Yeah, and Halo, duh. You know, that's the Xbox exclusive. That's what sold Xboxes.
That's probably what they probably did an exchange. All right, since you have Halo, give us Call of Duty.
Yeah, right. Well, Sony, we'll get into it, but Sony had plenty to say, and I was really pleased with what they said, even though, again, it doesn't really apply to me, but I was really impressed. I really was. You know what, the other theme with this year's E3 is all the big three realized they had a gold mine under them to use, and I'll explain that later. But just know that each one of them had a gold mine that they were sitting on for years, and they finally decided to bring it up. So yeah, let's move on to EA. Jimmy, why don't you just start us off on that?
Let's see what EA. You guys know with Need for Speed is one of them. What else?
Oh, just get the Star Wars Battlefront here. No one ever cares about the other ones.
Yeah, Star Wars Battlefront is also one of the major ones.
God, that looked absolutely
That
incredible.
was actually it was amazing to watch. I was watching the multiplayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to play. The point of view of the Rebel Alliance, and then you got the point of view of the Empire guys.
Yeah, that was
attacking
cool.
the base.
I know.
Use the Force.
I remember one from the gameplay. I still remember them.
How?
The one with the snow. What was it called again?
I don't know. I don't
What?
remember.
The Wampa?
No, the ones that are attacking the AT-ATs, the snow something, snow
Nah.
gliders,
The
snow something.
Snowstormers,
Yeah.
I think.
I think you're right.
Don't quote me on that. 'Cause
We're not
I
in
haven't
news.
played Battlefront in a
Snow
long
speeders,
time.
the
We're-
snow speeders.
before
the
you
snow
wa-
speeder
bef-
speed, where they had that quick time event where you shoot out the toll cable to take down the AT-AT.
Right.
That was
Yeah,
actually
that's
amazing to
exactly
watch.
cool.
And then you got the guy getting a rocket launcher and destroying one of the walkers.
But you know what? You know what? I forgot who said it, but he made a great point on YouTube. One of these guys said that it's amazing how EA thinks they're such big shit because they spend the last little tiny bit of their conference to talk about Star Wars, which is the only game people are probably gonna buy from core gamer, I should say, will buy from them.
Yeah.
And yet the whole video they spent like 10 minutes on FIFA and shit. Like, they talked about their usuals, like we said last week. They talked, not 2 weeks ago. They talked about FIFA, they talked about MLB, NBA, NFL, all that crap. And they did talk about Battlefront, I believe. But yeah.
Yeah,
like,
Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront.
yeah.
Presumptuous,
I mean, is there anything new they're doing with that? Not that I know of.
Not that I remember. I just watched the actual the demo for it. That's it.
You know, the
Other
EA...
stuff I wasn't paying too much attention to it.
Yeah, you know, the EA's credit...
Need for Speed. I know Need for
Oh,
Speed.
yeah, Need for Speed, you're right. Need for Speed Neo, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a remake of the Underground series where they had those
Yeah.
customizations, more customizations for the cars.
Right.
Because EA, when they went to Need for Speed, what was it? Need for Speed Most Wanted, the remake.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Copy suit. They stopped.
That was
doing
really popular.
customizations. They went for the weapon styles, and then in Most Wanted, they went for the actual just clear street racing and using the Burnout, Paradise style, quick repair, color change stations. Now they're trying to go back to their roots and make it customizable again.
All right, yeah, fair enough. I always like games like that, but racing games. But you know what? I just want to throw this out here. To EA's credit, they haven't been pissing people off in the past couple of years. You know,
Trust
like
me, I left EA's fan base a long time
oh no,
ago.
so did I. No, so did
kicked
I.
They lost my support ever since they stopped helping me out with those copyright problems.
No, yeah, no, so am I. Believe me, but I'm just saying they've been keeping it a little under the belt lately. You know, I mean above the belt lately. They haven't been pissing people off, and they stick to their guns. You know, you can't. You can't hate them for it. They know their shit sells no matter what they do, and they just do it.
I'm actually like...
And I'm expecting the Need for Speed Neo is going to be a hit seller with the guys that actually like the old style Need for Speed where they had all those options to customize the cars, not the new style ones.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
quite honestly, the only thing I'm interested about EA now is the Star Wars game, which we actually foreshadowed in episode 20 of the Bickering Gamers. So
yeah. Oh well, I think we straight out talked about that because we knew EA was getting the rights to the Star Wars games when LucasArts left. But yeah, that being said, we finally seen what they did, and I like what Tyler said before, where they actually went to the Star Wars museum to get scale models of the things. Like, I was actually when Tyler said that recently, I was just thinking about that today, and it reminded me of I was watching a facts about Sonic Adventure 1, and apparently the Lost Temple stage where all the echidnas lived, they actually went to South America since the internet was shit at the time, and they took pictures of everything for reference. And they used those pictures as textures for the game. I thought that was pretty cool. Like, it's little things like that. You know, it's like I always love those developer stories. It's really cool. But yeah, I think I knew EA would be our shortest one. Well, maybe. Nah, yeah. I mean, EA's, if I'm talking to the press conference, The last bit with Star Wars
It's
was
definitely gonna be the hit seller or Need for Speed. Those are the two games I've seen.
yeah. I mean, of course, but in total, that I only care about Star Wars. That was the only time they caught my attention. Really,
it was the only thing that actually caught my attention for the EA conference. That's it.
Yeah,
Need for Speed was one of them. Star Wars was the second one. With the
that's how it usually is with EA. They know to keep one game different every year just so they can keep people's attention, and then everything else is their normal shit they bathe in the money with.
Yeah.
But let's move on to Ubisoft. I got that one surprisingly because everyone knows my relationship with Ubisoft. They did a good job. I'm not going to be biased about it. They had their boring spots, and I've been saying this before the video. I have to say it again. I really admire Aisha Tyler. I think she's funny. I'm a big fan of her. She's a funny woman, but she is so awkward every year. And you think after 4 years with Ubisoft, she would get less awkward? Like, we get it. You can swear in a press conference. Ooh, how experimental.
How impressive.
Yeah, no. It's like...
No, just no.
She's getting better, but like I know she's funny. I know she can pull this stuff off. Like for God's sake, she's fucking Lana Kane. But whatever. I think that's something I always have to mention for Ubisoft because it's amazing how this funny woman is probably trapped inside whatever Ubisoft writes on their script for her to read.
Yeah, it's stupid.
It's like and you know what? It was kind of a boo-boo on their part, but I think it was Ubisoft. It might have been another press conference, but yeah, it was. During Just Dance 15, they made this angle where you can see the teleprompter and exactly what they said. I'm like, dude, don't break the illusion. Like, come on, don't show the teleprompter. And you know what? Why on earth do they have to show Just Dance 15? Do you think that people give a shit? Yes, we know it comes every year. We know it makes a lot of money. But do you think the gamers that go to E3 and watch your press conference give a crap about Just Dance?
They don't.
Like, that's not a rhetorical question. Go on your comment section right now
care.
and say yes or no. That's how I know you got to this part of the video.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. Nobody cares. You waste the whole segment just so you can watch some people dance to the Kinect or something. By the way, rest in peace, Kinect.
Yeah.
It's plain stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, I have to say, I said this with Stick of Truth. I really want to play that game, but my damn Ubisoft ban. They're making a sequel to it too, just to hurt me a little more. And it's really cool. It's called The Fractured But Whole, and instead of being a direct sequel, it actually focuses on the Coon and Friends, which is a really popular superhero spoof of the South Park crew. And you know what I loved about it was Trey Parker and Matt Stone actually were there at the press conference. They showed up on stage and explained their reasonings because they said after Stick of Truth, we'll never make a video game again. Not only because of their poor record before Stick of Truth, but because they had a hard time working it together.
Interesting about that, the previous South Park games before Stick of Truth, Parker and Stone...
they never took a part in it, right?
They never had taken part in any of the games. The thing was, they fucking hated those games.
Yeah, they did.
They have said on record that they hated the games.
I know.
That's why
they were bad.
That's why when the Stick of Truth came out, they wanted to be directly involved in the game.
It's like, remember the N64 game? I actually still have it. Where South Park 64, where you throw in snowballs. Like, that was entertaining for 5 minutes, and it got really repetitive after a while.
Yeah.
You're throwing snowballs at turkeys and cows. Wow, how funny. And then you throw it. It's basically the first episode of the series, but a first-person shooter, and a lot more drawn out. Like, it was GoldenEye, but with South Park in the first episode.
Yeah.
And it was really not done well. Then they had, I had another South Park game. It was a dating quiz game with Chef, where you could play as the characters, you could answer questions about the show. But once there wasn't many questions. So once you knew, oh yes, this existed. In fact, maybe I'll bring an N64 and a cartridge one day and we'll play it. It was really interesting. And I have the racing game, which is total ass. South Park Racing is ass. It controls so bad, but I've seen a couple Let's Plays of Stick of Truth. I saw SGB likes to play, and I like what they said about the game as a whole. They said it's a great starter RPG because it's very simple, it's very easy to grasp, it's not hard, but it's still fun. and I hope they continue that with the fractured but whole. Because it was really funny how the trailer worked out too. You can tell that they were making fun of the E3 trailer because they basically made it look like a direct sequel, and it's like and they were doing a lot of fourth wall breaking jokes. But then all of a sudden they saw Professor Chaos in their Stick of Truth videos, like, oh shit, we're on the wrong game. So they run out and come back as Coon and friends, and everyone's just cheering that loud. It was really funny. I really liked that. But yeah, again, biased aside, I have to say Ubisoft did a good job. Yes, they showed the regular shit. They showed Assassin's Creed. They showed Just Dance for some reason. Yeah, but as a whole, I had to say they had some good shit. That being said, who are we missing? Square Enix, I think we should.
Square Enix. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Square Enix showed off their release of Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yes, and we will talk about that in length. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, we are. Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah, okay. That, I think we should reserve for Sony, because technically they're the ones that announced it, because we have to talk about that, too.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
What else?
Bravely Second, I know.
Bravely Second was one of them.
It wasn't in the press conference, but it was in their booth.
Was it Final Fantasy 15? Was it there, or was it?
No, I don't think it was. Actually, they had that new... No, they showed off the new Final Fantasy game that Sony showed off. The one where they have that, they were small, but they can grow larger, and it changes their art design.
That's shut that one down.
A lot of people were like, but then when they announced Final Fantasy VII remakes, they jumped off their seats.
They did.
Yeah.
Just hyping over the Final Fantasy VII remake. HD remake, actually.
I know. Well, again, we'll get into that with Sony, because that was pretty much their biggest thing
right.
They said the whole conference. Well, I mean, not necessarily. Debatably, I should say.
Yeah.
Let me stress that. But yeah, it wasn't long, Square Enix, but they did have... everyone agrees they had the most boring press conference, because they really treat it like a press conference, like, hello, stockholders and shareholders. Today we're going to show you our progress. Like, that's what they were like.
Buddy.
Like, they were talking... Like, you could tell they were talking to their investors and not their fans. No big deal. I think they're on thin ice right now, Square Enix, because of their whole mobile fiasco a little while back.
Yeah, they are a bit on the
Yeah, so
right here.
they're probably trying to play it safe and saying things in a way where they couldn't insult. Like, they had enthusiasm. I'm not going to make it sound like they're like Ben Stein about it, but...
sounds like the fans are going to be ready with shovels to bury them.
No, they announced it. Yeah, well, maybe. But no, they stepped aside from the mobile thing. Of course, no Konami games were announced.
Nope.
Since we're on the topic of Sony, by the way.
Konami's a dead duck.
Yeah. Wait, actually, am I thinking? Did Square Enix do the mobile fiasco? Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think they did.
I don't think it did, actually.
Yeah, my bad. Never mind. We're not a news site. We're not a news channel. So yeah, scratch that. But either way, it felt like they were on thin ice with something, because, again, really long, drawn-out trailers and demos. It's like, I like looking at the game. It's cool if you showed an engine. That's great, but I can't. I just can't.
But... make it quick.
Yeah, make it quick, please.
I actually fell asleep watching one of the demos. I was like, okay.
Yeah, like during Microsoft's press conference, and some of the demos, I actually went out and got a drink, and when I came back, I'm not kidding. This is not a joke or an exaggeration. It was still in the middle of the demo. It's like I get it. The guys on the stage are having fun, but can you please put them down as soon as you show it off enough?
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. It's just a nitpick, to be honest, but it's just something that gets annoying when you watch it live and you can't skip it.
Yeah, I know, because you're just wanting.
Like, I don't
end.
even skip the whole thing. What I'll do is I'll just hit the right arrow key, skip a few frames, just so, and then when I say, oh, this is interesting, I'll stop there. That's what I like to do. But it's like, seriously, if you guys are gonna make a scripted demo, don't pretend it's not a scripted demo. Just, again, as I was exaggerating, but just make a debug mode and make a level that makes it look that just shows every aspect you can pack in there as of right now. You don't need to show me anything complicated. Show me, hey, here's how our weaponry works. Here's how you run. Here's how you jump. Here's how platforming works. Here's how combat works. Here's how this works. Here's our stats. Here's how that works. It's like what gets people excited. Like, save that stuff for live streams after the press conference. That's what's so genius about the Treehouse event, which we'll get to. God, I have a lot to say about that. But yeah,
I actually enjoy watching the Treehouse events.
Yeah, I have the Treehouse events on my watch later list. I have to get to that.
I actually finished watching the Xenoblade one.
Xenoblade Chronicles
X
one today. That's gonna be so bitchin'. But yeah, I mean, is there really much left to say about Square Enix? Kingdom
That's
Hearts.
just
Oh yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3.
Mainly, we all have to say is
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
Kingdoms are free.
Okay, I was telling
Final
Tyler.
Fantasy.
I was talking to everybody about this before. Ever notice in that trailer, everyone was so hyped that nobody noticed that it didn't say a release date or a year. It just said now in production. Did anyone catch that?
It did say that. It
For
didn't
what?
say a
Yeah.
release
For
date.
Kingdom
It
Hearts
said
3.
only now
Yeah.
in
Oh.
production.
Yeah.
I
No
didn't-
one
Yeah,
actually
you
noticed
catch
it.
that. So what?
What the fuck were they doing for 3 years? Were they
Now in
sitting
production.
on their hands? I mean, I know they have Final Fantasy 15 and 13 verses and 14 to worry about. I
Yeah.
know.
I
But my
understand
God.
that, but at least give the players a date.
Yeah, like the trailer was great. It really did show like we still know nothing about the game. I'm gonna make that straight. We know nothing about the game. All we know is Sora changes clothing, and this is supposed to be and according to articles, this is supposed to be the game that finishes the timeline, even though it's not the last Kingdom Hearts game. It's gonna finish Sora's story, and we don't know where it'll go on. Who knows? Maybe they'll make another Keyblade Master. Maybe they'll make another prequel. Who knows? But the point is, they're ending the story with Kingdom Hearts 3. And it makes sense, good trilogy. That being said, I have to talk about this now in production thing because it convinced me that all Sony did when the PS4 came out was going, "Oh shit, nobody cares about this shit." Hey, Square, we made a Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer for you. You can thank us any time, but we're to show it now. Wait, what? Kingdom Hearts 3 coming to PS4. And I'm like,
now in production.
yeah, like now it's in production. What were you doing? You announced it in 3 years ago. At least you should be. In all fairness, a quarter way done.
Would you like to hear Mad Military Man's
I
intricate
No.
theory? Anyway, the theory is thus. Sony thought that their dick
Everyone
was
put
big.
your earplugs in because you could be
No, seriously, you will agree with this.
I'm just
You'll
kidding.
agree
It's
with
not
this.
really Sony's fault.
Sony probably thought that their shit didn't stink and their dick was big, but when the PS4 really didn't catch the momentum it did, it was like, backup plan.
No, I'm not really. I was
Yeah,
exaggerating.
that's how everything is. They always have a contingency plan.
I was exaggerating, but what happened was Sony said to Square, "Listen, we need something big to push this." And Square said, "Look, we'll announce Kingdom Hearts 3, but we can't get started into it in a while." And of course, like I think people are making a blind eye to this only because this is one of those fantasy games you thought will never happen, and you'll wait as long as you can because you know it exists. That's just
like
me.
Half-Life 3.
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, but Half-Life 3, we're still waiting for an announcement. The difference is we know Kingdom Hearts 3 exists, But like I think like they just said, "All right, Sony, don't worry. We'll just announce it now. Just make a trailer for us and don't worry about it. We just need to get a PS4 because again, I have to reiterate this. People don't remember this for some reason. But when the PS4 was absolutely first announced, nobody gave a shit. Everyone thought it was boring. But the second Kingdom Hearts 3 came up, keep in mind, after that conference. It was after. Not during their initial presentation of the PS4. It was after that, E3. Everyone started wanting to get a PS4 because of that one absolute game. Of course, now they have good titles. Again, Bloodborne is a very popular one. Destiny did well.
Destiny is one of them also.
But yeah, by the way, Destiny is getting an. I don't know. It was kind of confusing how to describe it. Was it an expansion pack or was it a full-on sequel?
It's a DLC.
Expansion pack.
It is an expansion pack. Okay. Oh, wait, that was Bethesda too, right? My bad.
Spotter.
Yeah, my bad. Whoops. Either way, yeah. We're not a news site, people.
Yeah,
That should be our new
we
slogan.
We don't care
Bonus
about
Spotter
the
is
games.
a new DLC. I forgot what it's called.
Well, Destiny's one of those hit and miss games. Like some people love it, but other people don't care about shooting the same monster in a cave a million times because it's way too slow to get.
It's like cutting for the exotic weapons mostly now.
Like you have to a game where you have to grind to make any quick progress is not. It's just not good design. But who knows? Maybe the DLC will actually add some patches to make people level up faster, so that loot crave.
The DLC is just adding more story to it.
Well, still, you know what? The thing I noticed with DLC packs is they will add patches in. Like whoever Smash Brothers add some DLC, they throw in some fighter balances because you have to if there's a new character in it. They'll throw in some new aesthetic changes, maybe if there's any issues. They'll take out some glitches, just because it's like I can't believe I'm making this comparison, but it's like a bill in the House of Congress. Yeah, it's about don't kill the mooses in the park, but you're adding in bridges to nowhere. You're adding in taxes for new water fountains. You're just throwing shit in there to get it done. That's how a DLC pack works.
Mm-hmm.
So the way I see it is Destiny might do that, because everyone's main concern with Destiny was it's way too slow to get new gear. It's way too slow to get money. It's way too slow to level up. for an MMO. That's pretty big. So
Yeah.
I think that's a good patch. Just make it go up faster. It's a good balance. It's kind of like how everyone wants Mario Kart 8 to fix the item balance thing. I don't think there's a problem personally, but a lot of people seem to. I think the item thing they have just gives it a little more character. Like every time I go to old Mario Karts, I'll be like, oh yeah, I can hold items now, or oh yeah, the coin doesn't come up every time I'm in first place. But yeah, whatever. Sometimes I do wish that coin was in Mario Kart 7. But I digress. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
What's next?
Wait. Okay. So we did Square Enix.
Yeah, we did Square Enix.
We did EA. We did Ubisoft, and we did Bethesda. Are we missing anybody?
Should we just go?
Just third party.
PC thing?
No.
We're not going to go over the PC because none of us.
Yeah, it's mostly what games were getting released for PC.
See, that's what I thought.
Yeah, that's what I got. The list goes as follows: the new DCS EX.
Yeah, I never heard of it. I'm sorry, I'm a console gamer. I'm sorry, I'm a dirty console
gamer,
peasant.
So he doesn't know. Was it Sea of Thieves? Absolution for Hitman, Metal Gear Solid 5, the next chapter is that's the original one. And Fallout 4.
Right, yeah. I figured they would tread familiar ground because a lot of console games are going on PC too. That's the most on the list. Xbox One, PS4, PC. That's what I see in most of the games.
What was it? One of the games that have Tokiden Kiwami's going on PC on Steam on June 26th. So I'm not too surprised.
Fair enough. All right. We got those out of the way. Let's start with the big three. I think we should start with Microsoft because they had the simplest. Not only did they have a really great. I disagree, but a lot of people say they had the best conferences here. Personally, I think Sony had a better conference, just a slightly bit than Microsoft. I don't believe in the who won E3 thing. I think that's stupid because you're comparing apples to oranges to bananas. Yeah, I think we should start with Microsoft because, they had a very straightforward thing. And again, I'm going to go back to each company realized they had a gold mine under their butt. Let's start with Microsoft's gold mine. Rareware. They finally realized, holy shit, we have Rare.
Can I please?
Yeah, I was just about to say,
I've been waiting all week to say
go
this.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, so apparently I'm the only one who actually did write down shit for this.
Yeah, because you're definitely the most professional person in this group who are the most professional people on the interwebs.
Yes, but I'm actually professional.
Here's your medal and your gold trophy, and here's your Emmy.
Thank you. I would like to thank the Academy.
And here's your giant middle finger yodel.
Hold on, since you took my vapor.
Damn it, Tyler.
No, Tyler.
Nick, you can use your damn it, Tyler, for this video.
No, Tyler.
You can
Blow it back.
Go ahead.
No.
Nick,
Jesus, how much is smoking in?
Tyler is into vaping, for those who don't know. And Nick, you can use your damn it, Tyler, for this video. It is allowed.
You can use it.
We approve.
Honestly, it was like a London...
By the way, there's no real limit of how many times you can say damn it, Tyler. I just want to say that for the comedic effect. All right, go ahead, Nick. Let's get going.
All right, so for Microsoft, we got a lot of stuff. A few new games like Ion. We got Fable Legends.
There we go.
Yeah, that was interesting how Microsoft, of all things, are talking about Fable.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Microsoft really said, "Hey, let's finally broaden our horizons a little bit."
They made a new Games of War. There's a new
Gears of War
game coming
Gears
out.
of 4.
Gears of War Ultimate Edition. We also have Halo 5 Guardians, which is actually pretty interesting. Main story seems to be tracking down Master Chief, the main character.
Yeah, that looked cool. We don't know if he's a traitor or not.
Yeah, he appears to have gone
AWOL. Yeah,
and you play as one of four people.
They're soldiers in the same army
who are trying to track him down.
Yeah. That is a really interesting story arc, especially since you can finally say Master Chief's story is over and we can move on from it. But still, Master Chief's in it to not piss people off. I think that's really clever.
Definitely clever. Definitely clever move.
Also, again, Master Chief may be the antagonist in the game, which could or could not. But the thing is,
I'm thinking it's a rogue story where one of them's going to say, "Listen, I didn't do anything. We got to find the real bad guy."
Actually, they explain this. In the entire game, which is 4-player co-op.
Yeah, that was cool. A lot of 4-player co-op games this year. A lot of 4-player co-op games.
It basically has two diverging storylines. each one playing a different squad.
Right.
One which is led by Master Chief, the other Spartan Locke. I think he said.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, that sounds right.
Campaigns moved to multiplayer by then.
Yeah, a lot of 4-player co-op games this year. Like, a lot. And the weird thing is, Nintendo announced the most co-op games.
Also, the
You
graphics
know
on
why?
the
Because
graphics on this
they
fucking
realize the systems can handle that more better
We'll,
now.
And they-
we'll get to it when we
and
get
the
to
new
it.
Spartan suits for the main characters, the ones you're playing.
Yeah, it looks pretty
they're-
sweet.
They're a lot sleeker.
Yeah.
They're a lot smoother.
It's Xbox One
And
saying,
they
look
and
what
that
we
looks
can
more
do.
That was nice.
technologically advanced.
Well,
Yeah, it
higher
looks like
polygon
they're
count. Why not, you know? Why not?
And the thing is, the one thing that they really hammered it in was the new multiplayer maps. Some of these environments can go up to 4 times larger than any previous map they've had in any Halo game. Up
Yeah.
to 24 players with AI-controlled adversaries in it.
Right, yeah, I've seen that. You know, I like that. I like when consoles say, hey, oh yeah, we're a next-gen console. Let's show off the power we can pull off. You know, it's like, that's been so lost last generation. Well, it's hard, but I'd say, as a whole, last generation missed the idea of, oh yeah, we have a bigger, better, more powerful console. Let's not make the same PS2 game on the PS3. Let's actually make a PS3 game. And like, again, that's not true in a whole. I'm just saying that was a problem 360 and PS3 had when they stuck to, and Wii 2, where they stuck to the safe. They really stuck to the safe that generation. It's like, oh yeah, you know, well, let's just play this game. You know, you can probably play it in the last game, but less, you know, worser graphics. But yeah, you know.
Alright, yeah. Aside from Halo 5, they've also had a couple of other big ones.
Right.
Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
demo.
You know,
That
that
demo,
surprised me. It
It
did.
may have been long,
Yeah.
but you have got to admit
No,
that demo
I was on that one.
amazing.
I'll tell you why I was on that one, because that looks. A lot of people had a problem with the Recon first Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
This looks like they ironed it out a little bit. Like, I was really impressed. It looked a lot brighter for one thing, and Lara Croft didn't look like, you know, she felt like Lara Croft. You know, like last game.
Yeah,
A big complaint with last game was she was
again.
a,
I
yeah.
don't play Lara Croft.
Me neither, but yeah.
I was mainly a Nintendo guy until a few years ago. So I've never played most of the popular games for Microsoft.
Right. Well, Tomb Raider was really more of a PlayStation thing for a while.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, they had PC ports, and then when the Xbox came in, they did go over to them too. But
Okay.
yeah, like when I think of Tomb Raider,
you know what I meant.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm just getting I'm going to get a PlayStation 4, so I'm gonna have
Right.
3 and get.
But man, my point was
do that,
this Tomb Raider game, the game before it, that this is a sequel to. That like, I heard a lot of people say that this is the other M. Not that it was bad, but this is the other M of the Tomb Raider series, where Lara. Yes, we know this is the beginning of Lara Croft's story, but it still ruined the character of Lara Croft. This is what I heard from a lot of Tomb Raider fans. But again, I was watching this. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah,
This
it looks
like
yeah. I mean, again, I only know this like secondhand.
Yeah, me too. No, yeah, I have to stress that
But
too.
it looks like they're up. They heard the complaints and are working on a way to fix it.
Exactly.
They may not completely do that.
Right.
It may take another game. If so,
Right.
if they don't, but it looks like they're fixing.
Right. Well, it's the same thing with Doom 3,
Fixing
like
their
we said
mistakes.
before. You know, like it didn't the one before it didn't capture the spirit, so this one's doing that. You know, and it's kind of like Ukulele, which, by the way, since it's not part of a press conference, at E3 they announced that they made £2.5 million on the Kickstarter campaign, and I love how Kickstarter is actually becoming a part of E3. Like, we'll get it till we get to Sony, but one of the games, I'll make it mysterious, they mentioned Kickstarter. They said, hey, this is on Kickstarter now. E3, that's pretty big. Like, you can tell how much Kickstarter was a game changer for the game industry in such a short amount of time if E3 just shows up and does that, you know?
Mm-hmm. And speaking of Ukulele and Rare...
Yes.
Oh my fucking god! Yes. That was amazing.
Microsoft was like,
again,
holy shit,
Nintendo,
we have Rare, let's use it.
Nintendo fan, some of my favorite games were made by Rare.
Yeah.
I fucking hated it when they got bought out by Microsoft.
Here's the thing.
But this one
Yeah.
will make me forgive them for that.
Yeah.
I will forgive you for nuts and bolts. I will forgive you for grabbed by
Yeah.
the ghoulies.
Mhm.
I'm kidding. Grabbed by the ghoulies.
And the censorship and Live and
But
Reloaded.
anyway,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
all the
stuff
bad
now on
IPs
Microsoft
that
as
we've
well.
had, that we've been having for the past few years, ever since they were bought out in 2002.
Yeah.
For this one game, Rare Replay. It's the 30-year celebration collection.
All right, I'm sorry. What was that, Jimmy?
I actually found some stuff on Microsoft. They are going to release a new controller for the console. The
Yes,
Xbox
actually, that is
One
worth talking about.
And the PC, the Elite controller. There's the new design, the 4 panels on the reverse side of the device, giving the more customization, and restrict to player-made mappings.
I love though how they did not mention the price. You want to know what the price is? $150. I'm not kidding.
I didn't write that down.
I am not kidding.
That's a bit.
I love how they completely avoided the big question of how much it. No, it looked really cool. You can change the analog sticks. They had these like little shock mounts on the thing where you can squeeze.
Well, considering the fact of all this customization stuff, it's got the technology
I
behind
think
it's gotta be a
Xbone
big
just.
deal.
Just letting you guys know, actual custom
Xbone and
controllers
PC.
can go anywhere between $100 and $300.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so in that range,
Yes,
it's actually
but
pretty good.
you have to think of the console gamer. The PC gamer won't mind that, but you have to think of the console gamer. They are talking to here.
Believe it or not.
Also, they are planning to give Xbox One a bring
I
back
know.
60 games compatibility.
But also, I can't believe we didn't talk about this either. Bethesda also said that they're going to work on having consoles get mods for free, where you can download mods from your console onto their games. So it's like, again, it's another thing where they're just really growing. Like, again, I'm finally seeing the next generation of consoles. I'm finally seeing that in action with Kickstarter, with modding, with the custom controller. Like, it's like I disagree to a large extent on consoles mimicking PC. I think that's not the way to go, but they're making the right steps in this situation. But yeah, back to Rare Replay, because that's what I was saying before. Microsoft realized we have a gold mine on our butt, and they ripped it out.
Yeah, and basically, unlike some of the other games that that Microsoft has shown,
Everyone clapped for this one.
They actually gave a price for
Rare
Replay. $30 for 30 games.
Because it's a mega collection. Yeah, it's a mega.
And it's the 30th anniversary.
Right. No, but you know what?
It releases August 4th of this year.
That's not bad, yeah.
Simple collections. It's pretty much a standard collection.
It's a collection game. Yeah.
I have a little few ideas.
Look, it's basically
about this.
It's basically all the Rare games, but not the Donkey Kong games, obviously.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a given.
Yeah.
But I got an idea. What if this is not just this? What if they have another alternative for selling this game?
Well,
what if, say, this could be a way to see what rare IPs are still popular enough for them to continue working games for?
Right.
What? I mean, we have the technology for them.
No, yeah, I agree.
For them to track that sort of data, right?
Well, yeah, that's what the Xbox One does. It watches you play games.
Yeah. So you turn on the game.
No, yeah, I agree. I agree.
And they look at what you're playing and say, this guy's playing more Banjo-Kazooie.
Right.
Oh, this one's playing more Knights. This one's playing Grabbed by the Ghoulies.
Right.
We see which one.
Wait, someone plays Grabbed by the Ghoulies?
Yeah, it's a Rare game.
Yeah.
Okay, I gave Grabbed by the Ghoulies shit earlier.
Yeah.
Well, I only say that because of public opinion. I think it's actually an okay game.
That's fine. That's fair.
Well,
that's what
again, secondhand.
Well, people have to remember the history of Rare here. A lot of the key members left, so you had an okay game company after that. It's not that they were bad or anything.
Yeah, it's just that the quality had
gone down a little bit. It's like SpongeBob. People are harder on them than they should be. It's like, they're not. They lost their key members, and it's not that they're horrible now. It's just they have some bad moments. They have some lazy writing. It happens. But I like that theory. I do think it's very sound, but I thought of it very differently, where I thought that Rare is taking a new approach. Because don't forget, they're making an original Rare game alongside with this. It was a pirate game.
Really?
Yes, you didn't see the pirate game? Let me
possibly.
tell you why I like that 10,000 billion times more than a new Banjo-Kazooie game. Because I was afraid of being left out and signaled out, because I'm not buying an Xbox One to play a Banjo-Kazooie game. And on top of that, it's like Microsoft realizes we don't have the same Rare we used to. So let's give them the chance to make their own identity. We'll make Replay to remind people why they should be interested in this. And then we'll watch them grow into their own new company that Microsoft represents. Not Nintendo's Rare, Microsoft's Rare. That's what I see in it. Like,
Alright.
I appreciate, I do think that's sound and that's a possibility. But my possibility that I think is Replay is to remind people that, hey, Rare was cool and we can make it cool again. By making because again, right after Replay was announced, they had this other game that Rare's working on. And it's nice and colorful. It reminded me a lot of Perfect Dark, but with pirates. Or no, I'm sorry, Jet Force Gemini, but with pirates. It looked cool, It's like something that looked like Rare, and these new developers have a chance. They don't have to make Kinect sports for the rest of their life. By the way, again, rest in peace, Kinect. Not one Kinect thing ever mentioned in the Xbox conference.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank God.
Also,
for that.
Microsoft introduced the HoloLens in the E3 conference.
Yeah.
Oh,
Showing off
before
the
we
Minecraft
continue
with the
on to the
HoloLens.
HoloLens,
Yeah, go ahead.
because I got so much shit to say about that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually gave
I
a
just had one more.
demonstration of it.
I just had one more thing to speculate about that.
Right.
They weren't very clear on whether the games that were in the collection were going to be untouched or if they were going to be reworked. Because if they were reworked, they could be good.
Yeah.
It could mean new ways of doing the same thing, keeping it fresh. But it could also mean censorship.
Right, like Live and Reloaded.
And yeah.
I disagree on the grounds that this is a collection, so that's a lot to put on. I think they'll just port. But by the way, keep in mind, these are N64 games. Very small amount of data you can fit into a disc that I think can hold up to 300 gigabytes, if I'm right. So you're just throwing in the games, It's basically a bunch of Super Nintendo N64 games, some arcade titles like Killer Instinct, the original Killer Instinct. They'll have the arcades. They'll have the N64. They'll have the Super Nintendo, the NES, and such like that. And maybe they'll have a museum. I'd imagine. Maybe they'll have some developer interviews. Maybe. I mean, it depends on how well the old members would like to do that. But yeah, I disagree. I don't think they'll add on to it. It's a good idea. But I think it just straight up ports. And besides, keep in mind from the trailer, they looked like exactly like their original game. There was no HD, there was no upscaling, there was no I think the aspect ratio was fixed, but other than that, there was no real upscaling in the graphics. There was just looked straight up. Like I have a lot of experience with Banjo-Kazooie and Jet Force Gemini. When I saw those in the trailer, it looked exactly like as if I played it on my TV with my capture card.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, again, I think your theory is sound. That's just what I've got from it. Because it is a game you can really think a lot about. What are they going to do with this? What angle are they going to take with this? But I like the idea where Microsoft realizes they don't have the same Rare, so they're going to...
Or they're going to try to reinvent.
They're going to exactly. They're going to get their own new direction. But yeah...
I would think that despite that, they would still try to bring back the old...
They'll probably bring back more Killer Instinct games, yeah.
They could learn... Again... Despite nuts and bolts, I still would like a new Banjo-Kazooie game because they know not to mess with the formula.
Right.
Now they can make it work. Because while there were a few groaners, the dialogue was still
it was
pretty good.
But in all fairness, that might have been a Banjo 3 script. That's what you got to remember. Because remember, Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts is we exhausted Banjo 3, we don't know what to do with it, so let's just put it into this. And, in all fairness, again, I agree with your point of view. I think that's a possibility. I'm just saying I got something completely different out of it.
No, I understand. Yours holds as much water as mine.
Exactly. But that's why we're here, right? Supposedly. But, let's move on. Yes, the HoloLens... Basically, let's just go through the rest of the conference. Regular stuff. They showed off some yearly stuff. Nothing special, but the HoloLens...
They brought out the Mad Max trailer.
Which
was pretty cool.
The HoloLens, isn't that the one where...
It's their answer...
It's basically virtual reality.
Yeah, it's their answer to the...
to a virtual
Oculus,
reality.
Oculus Rift.
The Oculus Rift.
And I gotta say...
like a virtual space that you can interact with.
Yeah, and let me tell you, Microsoft is using the hell out of Windows 10. Not only is their new controller both compatible with the Xbox One and plug and play with Windows 10, but also HoloLens and the Oculus Rift will work plug and play with it. In fact, the Oculus Rift will come with an Xbox One controller now, because Oculus Rift was bought out a fraction of them were bought out by Microsoft, and since Facebook can't really give them much to use, that's where Microsoft came in. But yeah, the HoloLens was different, where it's actually pretty fucking cool. Like, if I still use Windows, it would be an insta buy for me. Thank you, Tyler.
We really need to.
Hello?
So yeah, like, you put the glasses on, and you can.
Downstairs.
It's kind of like you can see layers. It's kind of like the augmented reality for the 3DS, only not shitty looking, and it's actually functional for something.
It's functional, and you can actually move it with your hands.
Yeah, and
interact with it.
And the big thing they were showing off with, which is probably why
That was-
Microsoft bought out
Minecraft.
Honestly, that was so amazing when they brought it out.
Yeah.
Basically, for those who didn't see the
Conference.
You okay there?
We love you, Tyler.
You okay there, Ty?
What's wrong? Are they okay?
Bored.
Oh, well, you know, we're doing something.
Alright.
Watch our
Well-
video, Tyler's parents. It'll be up in probably 3 hours from now or something, whenever I get to it.
Yeah. So anyway, basically, for those who didn't see the conference, what happened was they basically showed someone playing Minecraft with the HoloLens, but he's not using a screen, he's not using a TV or anything.
Yeah.
He's using the wall and this.
Well, he put it on
And
he put the computer screen on the wall, but he put Minecraft on the table. That's pretty rad.
You actually put it on the table.
Yeah.
No, it's not. That's the thing. That wasn't a screen at all. That was just a blank wall.
Exactly.
It was because, and the screen and the lens had projected
Right.
a hologram onto the.
It's
onto
basically
the wall.
Google Glasses. It's the same technology.
Basically, it's a hologram you can touch.
Yeah, and
And that was all well and good.
yeah.
But it became amazing
Right.
once it brought it to the table.
Yeah,
Why are
actually
you
put
doing
the
that?
actual hologram on the table, and it's
Right.
able to interact with it.
You see, Microsoft learned their lesson about showing off hardware. Don't just say, we have a streamer, we can play movies. Show what we're interested in. It talked about this thing and got it out of the way, that's right. And then did even better by making it relevant to us. They showed Minecraft, and they did it in 2 ways. One of the ways was the guy at the HoloLens playing it himself. Another way, which I thought was tons
Was
more
playing
interesting.
on the table with a
Yeah.
top-down overview.
Exactly. And he pulled it up. He can move around Minecraft while someone else is playing and give him little warp points, tell him where to go. He can move the
Give
whole
him
world.
hints.
Yeah, and he can construct parts of the world himself with voice commands, and he can touch things and destroy things. And they did this little thing where he's like, Thunderbolts! And he felt like fucking Thor.
Thunderstrike.
Yeah, Thunderstrike. Yeah, that was
Thunderstrike.
rad. That was rad.
And he lit TNT with it and
Yeah.
turns pigs into
It's
zombie
incredibly
pigs. It was
impressive
amazing.
technology. I hope they keep their promise here, because remember the Kinect? But yeah, but you know what? Because I think this is more of a Windows 10 thing rather than an Xbox thing, they're just throwing it in there. I think this will be a lot more successful than the Kinect. I think this will probably come with every Xbox 2 when that comes out next generation. I think it's that cool of an idea. And I also like how they also mentioned the Oculus Rift, that if you use it in Xbox One, you don't actually get the Xbox One game where you can look around the world, but rather you look in a little movie theater. Like, let's say you have a 2-inch TV. I'm exaggerating, obviously. Let's say you have a 2-inch TV. You can put on the Oculus Rift, and all of a sudden you have a movie theater that you can look around in with a big-ass projector screen you can play the game on. That's pretty cool and pretty creative.
Isn't that bad for your eyesight?
Yes, but shut up. So interestingly, though, when they asked Nintendo about what they would do, because every company's go jump on virtual reality, they're like, we did the Virtual Boy. We're not doing virtual reality ever again. That was pretty much their answer.
Virtual reality troopers.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much it with Microsoft. Is there anything else anyone would like to say? I mean, you know, it is a good conference. They had good things to say. They really gave people what they wanted, and they didn't bore the hell out of people with their hardware, showing off their hardware, surprisingly. So yeah, okay. So let's move on to Sony. Okay, great deflator of soccer boppers. What do you think of? Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, go. Yeah, what do you think, Sony? Yeah, he didn't see it. All right. Sony did a good job too. And again, here's their gold mine they were sitting on for years that they finally threw out of their asses. Final Fantasy VII Remake. How many years were people asking for that? I think 10. A little over.
Over 10.
like everyone says is the best. I don't have much experience.
What
with
is
Final
the
Fantasy,
lore to Final Fantasy?
It's just a fantasy world, you know. It's like it focuses on different eras. It's like Fire Emblem actually, except it's not an RTS game. It's a RPG. That's basically what it is. Different characters in different generations, but in the same world. They have their own adventure with the story. You know, in fact, Final Fantasy really started that grand story RPG adventure kind of thing, and that's why it's continuing to this day. And again, alongside Final Fantasy VII, which got people excited, was not really, but they liked that this Final Fantasy spin-off game was announced. I don't know if it was a spin-off or not, but it didn't have a number. So, like, basically you can change sizes, and it actually changes the art direction for some reason, but you have, it's a cutesy, more cartoony Final Fantasy. It's a nice little change of pace, you know, especially since they're working on Final Fantasy 15, which will come out on the PS9. But yeah, you know.
Don't you mean PS15?
Yeah. Surprisingly, Sony didn't show off Kingdom Hearts 3. I think they just wanted to save that for Square. You know, here, no one's giving a shit about you, so you can take that, you know. But other than that, yes, I mean, that's the only thing people really remember. There's something about Sony where they can just again, Sony kept their promise, unfortunately, where they didn't have much first-party games to show off. That's okay, you know, they got they don't give a shit. They have a lot of consoles sold. They do not give a shit. So, yeah, but they have good games. There's one I was really interested in, Dreams, where you actually use the touchpad on the PS4. They're not PlayStation moving this. They're actually using the touchpad on the DualShock 4, where you can draw things and make it reality, and then other people can find your creations online and add to it, and then all of a sudden, it's a really interesting experiment. It looks like, and they made something similar. There's a similar indie game sequel. It was a World of Paper. I forget the name of it, unfortunately, but that was really interesting because it used the touchpad. It looked next gen to me. It looked like finally the PS4 did something with the PS4, but at the same time, I'm still afraid of they're doing the thing I was afraid of, where PS4 became the generation of remakes. Because again, we have Final Fantasy VII, which, granted, it's a remake everybody wanted, but PS4 has more remakes in their library than they do actual original titles. That's a problem to me.
Don't bring that to their attention.
Yeah, well, that's a problem to me, because I don't want... we're very comfortable in this generation.
What about the Godzilla games? Well, actually, I think that
well, that's not... that's covered by, I think, Activision. Am I right?
No.
They usually do Godzilla games.
Atari also does Godzilla games.
Well, they're out of the game now. They're not coming back. After the Class 11 bankruptcy, they're not coming back. Sony said some cool things. It was very diverse, actually. I was surprised with that. And again, I should say about Microsoft too. It was very diverse. They had diverse titles. They had good ideas, and it's because they had the advantage of having third-party support. But that's another can of worms that we don't have to talk about, which we probably will later. Now that I said that, I gotta go through these videos now and see every time I said we'll go through it in another video.